they would. Yeah, happen. All right. So you obviously noticed that I've not been on air for the past 40 minutes or so. Had some personal and also work related issues that had to be sorted out on the back end. All right. So apologies. I'd like to see very quickly. The messages that came through, because I did promise you guys that we're going to have a lot of Motown hits today on the program, and I am not going to disappoint you. No sorry. All right, so apologies for that. I did not get the power updates today. Now, it's time for us to get to our final conversation, right? And in fact, two things had popped up recently, and because of the meeting that I was engaged with a few minutes ago, we'll have to move the conversation that I wanted to have this morning to next week. But we're going to talk about what is very trendy. When I mean trendy, I mean just about a few days ago, 48 hours ago, here in Port Harcourt. And we had a similar conversation last year, during the elections. It has to do with youth and violence. All right. Now, we've had NGOs and all of that come through to speak, to encourage people. Even during the campaigns, you've heard politicians also come through and say, shun violence, do this, do that. You don't get to see the political actors having their children in the forefront, yada, 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 yada. I like to believe Nigerians, or at least most Nigerians know, but it doesn't seem to dissuade the use of violence as a means to, as it were, to have things sorted out. Don't get it. I don't understand it. But anyway, I have two questions this morning. First one is, with all of the information, right, that has been passed, whether it's from NGOs, whether it's from well-meaning Nigerians, whether it's even from the government, right? And I mean as recent as Tuesday here, you hear calls, oh, please, youth of River State, youth of Nigeria, don't allow yourself to be swayed by political actors, and then you have violent outcomes. But somehow it happens. Why? Why do youth still get used for violent acts in this country? And number two, and this one, I want you to particularize it when you call me. If you find out that your political stalwart, the man or woman that you believe is going to be a good leader, if you find that person has been promoting and supporting violence, would you still support that person? Let me repeat. Would you support your candidate who uses violence to get into power? These two questions I need to ask you. And I think that this particular song, more than any other Motown song, right, is relevant in today's day and time. minutes gone past the hour of 11 o'clock. It is cloudy now. I think it's still drizzling, so please do well to stay dry if you possibly can. And if you are driving, please do yourself a favor. Not me. Do yourself a favor, all right? And drive very carefully, all right? Slow doesn't mean careful. Slow could be dangerous, but please drive carefully. Watch your speed, keep your distance, all right? And if you are one of the millions of Nigerian road users who don't have great tires, well, either you replace them or stay on the slow lane, please. For you and for everybody else's sake, please. Thank you very much. Now, let's get to our final conversation. Youths and political violence. Now, remember I asked you two questions. Why do youths still get used for violent acts in Nigeria? Why? Oh, why? Oh, why? Then the second one. I need you to particularize it when you call us this morning. If you find out that your guy, the person that you really like, the supporter, the stalwart, the political stalwart, the political juggernaut, and such, I frankly find them asinine. Many people use those, sycophantic terms describing liars, thieves, criminals, and all the whatnots. But anyway, yes, people use them, call them political juggernauts. Yeah, when you find out that this person or persons use violence, in fact, it is enshrouded, in their ethos. You can't separate them. Would you still support them? Would you? Well, let's find out from you as always. Ladies and gentlemen, let's have a conversation.
The views and opinions shared on this program do not represent the position of Nigeriainfo FM. Nigeriainfo, let's talk.
And now, hello Port Harcourt with Jude on 92.3 Nigeriainfo.
So 0817-923-0002. 0817-923-0002. Now, that's the number you can use to call us and let's have a great conversation with you. You can go online as well. We're active on social media platforms, Facebook and X. The handle is at Nigeriainfo PH. I beg your pardon. At Nigeriainfo PH is where you'll find us on Facebook and on X. That's the handle to use if you use any of these platforms. At Nigeriainfo PH. We're talking about youths and political violence in particular. Why do youths still get used for violent acts in Nigeria? Why? There have been so many talks, so many symposiums, so many advisories. It's kind of like the way, people are now know you don't give your pin out to strangers, all right? It's been hammered and hammered. Does this still happen? Yes. But the frequency, I like to believe, is greatly reduced. It's not commonplace as it were, in time past. It's almost like a sobriquet. People don't get to be singing it all around. Oh, don't do that. Don't do that. But when it comes to political violence, we are a totally different playing field, it would seem. All right? Then WhatsApp is 0809 030 6416. 0809 030 6416. Zion is on the line. We have messages that have just come through, but let's get to hear from our caller quickly so we save his airtime and I'll get to you right now on WhatsApp. Zion in GRA, good morning to you.
The only way we can achieve that is to engage the youth meaningfully. Either they are in school, or they are in an office working, or they are in a factory, or they are maybe in their career as a footballer in the field practicing, or they are in the theater. If we can achieve this, then we don't need to chase any youth. The political class here in Nigeria is aware of that. That is why they don't want to engage the youth. Because if all these youths are in their offices at that material time or that productive hour, how many do we see on the street? The typical case of Donald Trump in America. I don't know if you are following the campaigns now. Do you know that Donald Trump has to go to even most of the factories? He goes to the supermarket. He goes to factory to meet the youth to vote for him. They are not on the street. So in our own crime, it is different. The more you impoverish the youth, the more they will believe in you. The more you adjust them into poverty, the more they will believe in you.
Zion, let me ask you.
You are not ready to help the youth. So
Zion, you said if we engage the youth.
If you know that your political leader, will you still follow him, my brother? In this Nigeria, they will follow him. Haven't you a question like this? When you are the commissioner of works, what did you do for your community? When you are in government, what did you bring to your community? Haven't you heard such words? To tell you that the people are criminally minded. So no matter how well you do or you say, I want to ask you, are you not here when they give people amnesty? On what ground? My brother, until we are educated enough for democracy, we will never get it right.
Hart is in Port Harcourt on NT Road. Hart, good morning to you. How are you enjoying the rain?
Very well. I think we prayed for it for a while.
Oh, okay. Welcome.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, it's quite unfortunate that these days youth get involved in political violence and without asking the questions, why are their sons not leading the violence in one way or the other? Why are their brothers, sisters, father, mother not leading that violence? The reason is because they can creep into the minds of many idle youths. Then, I remember then when I was in school, you see one political movement, they would just pay some students money to say mobilize students, bring boats, they carry them. Without the student knowing where they are going to, all they know is that you are going for campaign, you are going for this, you are going for that.
Mobilized.
And at the end of the day, they give them peanuts. So that is how it is when it comes for political violence. You can wonder what happened on Monday or Tuesday. The governor just made a statement, and the next day you see thousands of youth in numbers on the street. Ask them, why are you protesting? They don't even know. So I think there's high time we keep on enlightening the youth. We might not get it right immediately, but I think with time, there are some improvements. Hart,
hello. No, you are saying with time, and you just made something clear. Maybe some people do not know that even those in school. The first caller says, "Are the students, are the youths, are they in school?" But you just admit, alluded by that. So even when they're in school, they are still being
a student. I remember then when I was in school, they came to our hostel to announce that there's this political party movement, that we should just come and act as if we are defecting from this party to that party.
What?
And at the end of the day, I'm telling you, this I'm giving you facts. And they just tell you, and you see us with going there for how much? 2,000 naira, 3,000 naira, they will share. So it's not about the students. You can engage them, but the point is, even if you engage them, what enlightenment? They need to know the outcome of their actions. That is why I said the radio station, people are trying, but it's to keep on hitting it more. I think you will get it right.
All right, Hart, thank you very much. That's a very honest confession. They were paid to pretend to be defectors. They were paid actors, in a sense. But the question is, if they knew, would they have done it? And I have to ask, even if you did not know, should you even do it? That's an honest question. And please, I'm not ridiculing you or trying anybody who has done this in the past, like Hart has alluded to. But if you knew, should you have even done it? Barine is in Thai. Good morning to you, Barine. Hello, Barine. Oh dear. Unfortunately, that connection was severed. Through no fault of mine, please do bear with us. Moving on now, let's start with the messages. All right, let's quickly take a message before we go on a commercial break this morning. It's Throwback Thursday, and I promise you we're going to have a lot of Motown hits coming through. All right, Brightener on WhatsApp says, Jude, in this present day Nigeria, any youth that allows himself or herself to be used by any politician could be classified as a youth with no future ambition. Secondly, I will pray for madness on any shady politician or political stalwart I support that is involved in evil. Wow. Didn't expect to see that. You pray for madness. Didn't know that you guys were this angry. That's a new one. Oh, this is a new one. Good morning. The political youths that you're talking about, are they not future local government chairmen? Are they not future councillors? Please, until we start to get people educated into the political space, this will always happen. Those of you who are sitting in your offices saying, concern you, don't worry until they come and knock down at your doors before you know that you should be concerned. Frederick is saying, that's another interesting part of this conversation. What do they call them? Yes. Defense sitters. We'll be back after this break. Right, so welcome back straight to the WhatsApp platform. My name is Jude Omamigbe, and if you just join us, we're talking about youths and political violence. Two questions I've asked this morning, and I'd like to ask them yet again, just in case you were joining us. Why do youths still get used for violent acts in Nigeria? That's the first question. And the second one is, would you support your candidate who uses violence to get into power? Well, we've heard some individuals say, well, that's going to continue. They would always do that. Someone said they will swear madness Interesting. I was surprised when I read that one. Didn't know you guys, were that, vexed about it. Barine is back on the line. Barine is speaking to us from Thai.
Good morning, Jude.
Good morning, Barine.
Well, sorry, the line was cut off then.
Apologies, please. Apologies. Yes. Good morning.
Well, so great. Each time we continue to hear on Nigeriainfo with these valuable topics, I think is a growing system from that station. Kudos to you people. Let's talk of youth and violence also on the political line. And I want to let you inform that in that scope, this extreme forces application that has to do with some financial compensation. And what makes the populations of the society is more of the youthful people. You will also discover that there is this what we call a short-term and a long-term acquisitions of wealth.
Okay.
There are some of these youth probably that have been used by politicians. Probably they didn't go to school. They raise their shoulder and they talk reform, and before you know, they'll be driving heavy cars and acquiring heavy weight. What we stop next is not to join. So it becomes a trend, a source of them getting to that point. So it's one perspective. What they can attain that belongs to them. I always have this approach that you must be about violence, such that when they are no longer there, you also, because it's meant for the rivers people. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. So it's for you trying to make money, so that even when the political stalwarts are no longer there, you have something to do. But are the youths actually thinking about it? So whose fault exactly is it that that's the situation that is apparently prevalent in this part of the world? We'll be back after the break as we have headline news right here on 92.3 Nigeria Info.
Headline news, Nigeria.
Back 90.3 Nigeriainfo. It is Hello Port Harcourt. My name is Jude Omamigbe, and our conversation, our final one this morning, has to do with you. Yes, you. Yes, you, because you live in a city and in a country where whenever somebody wants you to vote for them, something usually happens, and what usually happens is there's a spur of violence, flashes, flashpoints. We saw that during the elections last year, and sadly, we've seen it again. The question then is, with NGOs, with even the NOAs, the NOA rather, with government officials, with religious leaders, even traditional leaders, all right, at several points, coming up to discourage, coming up to promote ideals that are more humane, you still find people, young people, youths, who somehow get to be involved in violent skirmishes. The question is why? We've heard several times, and I remember last year, just before the elections, there were so many, CSOs and whatnot, so many, even the UN, the United Nations body, even USAIDs, the British High Commission, everybody, even the French consulate, all sent out messages, right, eschewing the values of democracy and asking young Nigerians to avoid anything inimical to growth, particularly the presence of violent actions or activities. But did you people listen? Oh, no, you didn't. No, you didn't. Apparently, they were talking to those behind you. But here we are again. And you just heard in the headline news that 2 people lost their lives over the violence in Port Harcourt a few days ago. 2 people. Needlessly lost. It has to be said. Needlessly lost. There is no justification. For all the times that people have spoken, we are back here to ask why. Okay? As the Spanish would say. 017-923-0002, 0817923-0007, 0817923-0002, 0817923-0007. At Nigeriainfo PH, at Nigeriainfo PH is where you find us on Facebook and on X. At Nigeriainfo PH, at Nigeriainfo PH is where you find.
The views and opinions shared on this program do not represent the position of Nigeriainfo FM. Nigeriainfo, let's talk.
So 017-923-0002, 0817923-0007, 0817923-0003, 0817923-0007. At Nigeriainfo PH, at Nigeriainfo PH is where you find us on Facebook and on X, at Nigeriainfo PH, at Nigeriainfo PH. All right, now. This one says, I will lay a curse on them. And that's from Isiere James. So if you find that your political stalwarts, the person that you are, earnestly clamoring for, use violence, either he supported or, he was condoning violence, James says he will swear and it will catch them. I don't know why you guys are so certain that your curses will actually work on them. They haven't worked on several people in the past, so I don't know. Now, dear Jude, Eze from Amagwa says, please help us assist us to remind the former Ikoro local government chairman, Dr. Wanosike, that the waste disposal in Amagwa that has been abandoned, he should come back and help. Really? Interesting. Eze says, River State political violence is always because of greed, desperation, and illegality of their paymasters, giving them peanuts to go cause mayhem. It is only in River State, right, that you find that a chairman wants to bully a caretaker chairman. Why all these drums of war and call for state emergency? Let them be coming down. Now, turn by turn, even though that I previously enjoyed caretakership, are shouting constitution must be obeyed. It is only in River State you see politicians with PhDs misinterpreting misinterpreting and maintaining status quo. Silas is in Kana. Silas, good morning to you, please.
Oh, Jude,
good morning, Silas. How are you doing this morning?
I'm fine.
Welcome.
So I want to talk more into this issue of controversy within the state.
It's not just within the state. We're not talking about the local government issue. We're talking about violence generally. Why are youths involved in violence even after they've advised them not to? Why?
Okay. One of the reasons why the youth involved in violence, in River State, even the past administration did not empower youth. They do any form of empowerment to the youth. And right now in River State, River State is among one of the states in Nigeria that has so much population of the youth that is not working. If you go around the street, you see youth working every day. They have no job. Some of them don't have any handwork. Which administration of our previous government does not even create an employment youth or skill acquisitions. So that is why if you see they have any opportunity, they causing violence, we see that most of them will stand for that particular place. Most of them will rise up because of money, because they have no money. They have no food to give. Most of them have no place to sleep. So that is what is causing problem in River State. No youth empowerment, no youth skill acquisition. They just left that to youth. But it's only the type of politics that they want to acquire power. They want to source for the power. That is when they will go and source for you. That's why I pity those ones, because that I'm here right now, there is nothing you can use to confuse me to come and fight for you. You understand?
So Silas, Silas, hold on. We have Robin in a chair, but let me ask you, Silas. Let's assume that you were supporting me, Jude, and I say, come and join my party, Bole and Fish Party, and then after 6 months, you now hear that that guy Jude, he was the one that I gave Okon machete and cutlass and gun to go and disturb another political party. Let's call the party Constance Party, where they used to sell crayfish. They go and cause problem there. Would you still support me?
One thing is, if to me, I will not support you again.
You won't support me?
I will not support you again, but the reason why some youth support is because of when they use money, I confronted them and promised them and gave them some money. You understand? They have to give support to the wrong side.
To the wrong side. Robin is in a chair. Robin, good morning to you, please.
Good morning, dude.
Good morning.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear, Robin. Welcome to the program.
Well, the question to ask, why the prevalent violence by the youth in spite of the advice from all the European Union and all that?
Everybody, pastors, more everywhere.
Can you hear me, Jude?
Yes, I can hear you. Go on. Everywhere, go on.
Okay. For me, it's very simple. The youth you talk about, they have boss somewhere else who is a billionaire, who is bankrolling them. And their power lies in the guns they carry.
Their power lies.
You know, Malay says, if you say the truth, you die, you lie, you die. Choose. Jude, there is gun everywhere. There is gun everywhere. The police know. The DSS know. There is gun everywhere. The general people cannot come out to speak. Cannot talk. We cannot talk because there is gun everywhere. These young men are used by the politicians. They know them. And if they don't create violence, they will not make money. They will not use security vote. If the National Assembly scraps security vote to governors, to president, Local government chairman, this madness in our society will stop. Good morning, the farmer.
Robin, thank you very much. Henry is on the line. Henry speaking to us from Opobo. Good morning, Henry.
Yeah, Jude, good morning.
Good morning to you, please.
Yes, let me react a little bit on your question.
Yes, please.
I want to disagree a little with some of your callers.
Yes, please.
Now, what is happening in River State today, which you and I are witnessing, ordinarily will also happen in other states, where you see some persons feel marginalized, some persons also feel satisfied. And Jude, if you ask me, I will tell you that the persons you're seeing today coming out from the various areas where they are coming from, they are coming to protect what belongs to them. It is not out of hunger. You understand? Because it's human beings that will come to prevent and also to stop the injustice, not the ghost. So long as we are living, we are in the system, we have every right to defend our rights and the constitution that bind every Nigerian. So I want to disagree on some areas for persons that say he's hungry or want to know. Those persons you're seeing, yes, two persons, two wrongs does not make a right. We all may not be in the same angle, but they have their right to come to defend. And Jude, if you ask me, Jude, what is happening today in River State? Is it constitutional that somebody who is elected and stayed 3 years by the constitution that binds you and I, we want to disagree with that constitution and do our own? And you see people coming out to say no. And somebody will tell me that he's hungry and all that.
But Henry, hello, Henry.
We try to educate our people and make them to understand that let us cooperate and do the right thing so that.
Hello, Henry.
This is not
Henry.
Yes, I'm with you, Jude.
Yeah. It's good that you were trying to make a background, particularly in the case of the past 48 hours. But then the question still remains: why then is violence still the source? Whether you are for or against, whether it's for the right person or the wrong person or the person who you think is not following the constitution, the question is, why do youths still get to be used? And then I want to particularize it, Henry. If you find out that me, the guy you are supporting, is using violence or has promoted violence, what would your reaction be? Would you still support me?
Dude, you see, the violence will only recall when you see that some sections will always want to use maybe the power, backing them up to oppress other persons. That is the area where you see this violence begin to arise. But when we begin to follow, when we begin to do the right thing, I believe there will be no violence. If this elected chairman in question, which their tenure have expired, leave the office peacefully and obey the laws of the land, my brother Jude, you will not see these persons coming out to defend or to counter. So we should just put the question straight. That is just the truth. Because if you want to intimidate this other person and this person say no, it will result to violence. And that is what is causing it.
Harry, thank you very much. That's an interesting take. Sometimes my auntie was to say, I no agree, and they make shit tear. So is that one of the reasons? Could that be the reasons why, the youth usually end up in imbroglios that usually ends in, sadly, yet another passing, a fatality? And let's be honest, this is what, 25 years. So we can't actually use that term that the democracy in Nigeria is nascent. I don't think it's nascent any longer. 25 years, that means there are a generation of Nigerians that have only known a democratic system of government. And is this the democracy that you want to bequeath to them after you? Is that what you are planning on doing? Victor is on the line for mile 3. Victor, good morning to you.
Morning, Jude.
Good morning, Victor.
This question is just through to us now. I think it's a very simple solution to that, which is we live in a society where we don't pay for the crimes we commit.
Okay.
You sometimes when we call on Nigeriainfo, we make certain statements. You guys classify it as inflammatory, meaning that we shouldn't make it because it can incite somebody else who is not as mature as even you who is making it. Until our society begins to go after those who make inciting statements, even before the violence is actually perpetrated, we will keep having it. When you have followers and you're actually somebody who is highly placed in society, your statements carry weight. So when you make certain comments, the security agency are supposed to go after you and actually prevent that particular thing, call you to order and question you, so that you don't go ahead to incite those who don't have the mental capacity just as you that is making it. But what do we find in our clients? Somebody comes on air and say, I will kill them, I will finish them, fire them. And the person will go inside and say, and those of us who are not as mature as you that is making the comment, of course, we are hungry, we pick up the bottles, we pick up the knife, we go on the street, we perform.
Wow.
And they will now, the security will now land on me, and you that made the comment, you are going scot-free. Why can't we start going for them instead of waiting for those that are performing?
It's a good question. Very good question, Victor.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. It's a fantastic question. Solution there, Victor says. Hold those who have the authority, who have sway, who are influential. WhatsApp as we wrap up. Don't forget, it's Throwback Thursday. So as requested by the majority of the listeners who responded to our question yesterday, is Motown hits all through today. And I think we have time for about 2 more before we say our goodbyes today. And they are going to be very pertinent. They're going to just fit right into our current conversation. But let me read the messages. This one says, I do agree with Zion. The Nigerian youth isn't looking for much. But who will provide engagement for the youth? Again, he said education is the key. I agree. But it's not the formal education system that will do it. Community education is needed because if everyone in a community understands the effect of certain actions that they will take, a collective action to change the community. Government cannot solve these matters. They can only be a catalyst for these changes, but the people as a group need to discuss collectively and chart their course. I will not support anyone who uses violence. Okay, now, this one says, good morning, Jude. Let me give you some instance. The why. High unemployment and poverty. Many young people in Rivers State and Nigeria face significant economic hardship. Unemployment and poverty creates violent, fertile ground for exploitation. 2, lack of education and awareness. 3, weak law enforcement. And it says 4, very importantly, identity politics. Ethnic and religious leading to violence against perceived opponents or rival groups. David is on Airport Road, and we have Charles Nomuma. Go on, David, please. Hello, David. Go on, please.
Yeah, Jude.
Good morning.
Good afternoon. Yes. It's amazing when we talk about the democracy and the teaching of the coming generation. One thing is clear: we don't have democracy here.
You don't
what
think
we
so?
have is government of banditry. Because one of the basic tenets of democracy is the right to choose who rules you.
True.
And this very tenet, we don't have it here. You don't choose who rules you. Because Nigerian government spends over 360 billion on visas and IRS and electoral items. We are there using election? No. What they used was just buy a biro and write results. There are no elections. And even when all these malfeasance, people still keep calm. You still see some political bandits go forth to tell you that even after their tenure have expired, they want to remain in office. And then you say you are waiting on the courts. Courts to do what? Courts that is even trying people who have, on their own, resigned from office.
But that's the thing, David. The elections. I understand the sentiments, David. Thank you. I understand the sentiments. But elections did held. Right? Yes, you may not be happy with the results, but there's enough proof globally. People saw it. I went to vote. You went to vote. Some results were in favor of some people that you were wanting, and I was wanting. So they did hold rather. We have only a minute, Charles. Ibiso on the road. Unfortunately, we're not able to take your call. Charles, very quickly, please.
Okay, please. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I want to say that the history hitherto of all elites in society has been the history of class struggle. Where the bourgeoisie always engage in a fight with the proletariat. A fight that has never ended well. Let's take for instance, in Amuma, where I come from, we had a lawmaker, Kelechi as an assembly member, who was there for 12 years. But Jude, to shock you that there is nothing to pinpoint or to hold hand to say this was the project done by this particular man. So he eventually brought somebody who became government chairman.
Charles, unfortunately, we have to go on the commercial. Thank you very much. You didn't get to hit your points. I'm sorry.